Well, hey everyone, and welcome to another video in the Unity Formations tutorial. So this video is going to be on how to make a spiral formation. So right now we have it set up to where we are spawning out a circle. And so what we're going to do is, and there's our circle. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and rotate it to where it goes forward and backwards. The circle looks like it's on the ground, and then it's going to spiral upward in a spiral formation. We can go ahead and open up the formation controller script. Drag this over. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to copy this entire circle formation. Come down here under the square formation, and we're going to just paste the entire function there for the circle, but we're going to call it sphere because there's only a little bit of a difference we have to do between the not sphere, spiral, excuse me. There we go. Spiral formation. Okay, so we're going to want to keep all of this the same except for, instead of generating the position in the Y direction to make the circle, we're going to do that portion in the Z direction. And the way we're going to do that is, so we'll come into here. The target position, the Z axis is going to be target position dot Z plus Z. Going to give you an error because there is no Z, but what we're going to do is we're going to change this variable to a Z. Okay, and the Y direction, we're going to put an offset here. So at the top, before we come into the loop, we're going to make a float Y offset variable. And then what we'll do is we'll put it 0.5 for now. And then we'll come into here, and then we'll do target position dot Y plus the Y offset. Okay. And then we need to call this function up here. So instead of circle, we'll just make it spiral formation. And we'll go ahead and come back in Unity. Oops. Go back into Unity. I'm in here, let it compile. Done compiling, we can go ahead and play. And there's our spiral. Oh, it's the beginning of the spiral. So this, if you come into here in the scene view, and you press and click the middle mouse wheel, you can actually pan around. If you hold the right click and move your mouse, you can actually rotate it. So if you look, it's actually spiraling exactly as we want. If you want the spiral to be wider, what you're going to do is you're going to come into here and you're going to change this variable. If you don't want them, so for instance, right now we're only going to spawn 10. Well, let's spawn 25 of them. And we'll show you what that looks like first. This is what 25 of them would look like spawned. Yeah? See that? Pretty awesome. This is what it would look like. Inside the game view is like this, and you can rotate it. See, this is kind of what we're looking for. This is what we want. Notice how tall they are from one another, though, as they're rotating. That is fixed based on this Y offset. Let's cut this Y offset by half, and we'll do 0.25. Come into here, let it compile, hit play. So now it's not going to spiral as much upward, but it's still going in spiral. the distance in the y-axis is now, see, the distance in the y-axis is now a little smaller. You can do it this way. I prefer the other way because I thought it looked a lot nicer. It's not as clumped, but this is something that you can modify as well. And what we're going to do is, you're probably wondering, well, what does this do? This here determines how wide you're going to want each circle within the spiral, like each layer of your spiral, how far you want them apart. So let's change this to 25 and watch what happens. It's not gonna go as far up, it's just gonna be that much more wider. So that number in the loop represents how wide you want your spiral. The y offset represents how tall you're gonna want the distance between each of your spheres to be. And you see this? That's still a spiral. And you can verify by rotating. See, it's still a spiral. It's just a lot wider. So you can do it this way if you want. You just have to go in there and you're going to want to make more. So then we'll just loop it times, we'll just do 50. We'll make 50 spheres and they'll have 25 in the Z. And all it's going to do is make it wider. So you can go ahead and change it however you want, however you see fit. We'll go ahead and get this playing. Show you what it looks like now. Go, and there you go. And here, rotate it. It looks pretty cool. Come on up, rotate it in and out. This is what your sphere would look like. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. I prefer it to be a little bit smaller, so we'll do 25, and then we'll make this back to 10. We don't want it to be too wide out. I'm going to keep it at 0.5 for this. And what I'm going to do now is, since we got this working, what we're going to do is, let's see, where are we calling it that it spawns all the orbs? So it instantiates it here. What we're going to do is, at the very top of this, we're going to do game object, and we'll do container. Spell it right. And then we'll do new game object, and we'll just call it container. Okay. Inside of here, what we're going to do is we'll do container dot transform dot position set to vector 3.0. And I'm going to show you what this is going to do. So we're going to come into here. Once this loop is completely finished, excuse me, we'll need that in a second, yes. But what we're going to do is, notice how, okay, so we set the instance dot transform dot position. Well, we want to set instance dot, wrong, instance dot transform dot set parent to be the container. Dot transform. Okay. So what is this going to do? All it's going to do right now is, when we run this, it's going to instantiate a game object in here called container, and every sphere that is spawned is going to be a child of it. So it's going to clean up the hierarchy. But there's another reason I'm doing this, and I'm going to show you in 1 minute. To play. Okay, so notice how in the container, and remember, this is what it would look like in the game view, but the way our camera's positioned, this is just how it looks here. So you can get a good view here. So this is pretty cool, right? We got everything in a container, but what if we had this rotate? And that's what I'm getting ready to do. We're going to go here and we're going to create a script. And we're going to call it, just call it container component. Yeah, I like container component. Naturally, you can call it whatever you want. So we'll do container component. And we're going to open it up in Visual Studio. Let it open. Let it open. Come on. Issues. Come on, open up. There we go. Okay, so container component. All we're going to do is we're going to get rid of start. And inside of the update function, what we're going to put in there is this little bit of code. We're going to say this dot transform dot rotate, and we're going to do new vector 3, and we're going to rotate 0 in the x. We're going to rotate it 45 degrees in the y. We're going to multiply it times delta time. Times, then we're going to call a variable in here called speed. We're going to come up here and make a variable, a public variable, speed. And we'll set it to 5 for now. So what we're going to do is it's going to rotate on the y-axis over time at a rate of 5. And we made the variable public so we can go ahead and modify it in the inspector and change the speed at runtime. So now what we need to do is we're going to do container dot add component, and we're going to add a component called, we called it container component. We're just going to add it this. That's all we're going to do. We're going to give it the component. Come into here, over here, let it compile. Done. Hit play. And there you go. It's rotating. Now naturally that's a little too fast. So what we'll do is we'll come onto here and we can change the speed. But check it out. This is our sphere. We can move the camera. That way we don't we can check it out. Yeah, that's pretty neat, man. I'm excited about it. So this is how you would go about making a spiral. It's very simple. It is not big at all. It's basically just taking multiple circles and then just extending them up, if you like. That's the way I did the rotation, just to give it an extra flair. I thought it'd be really interesting in case maybe you're making a game or something and you just want to have like a spiral in the background just steadily just rotating in place. You could simply just do that with it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I had a lot of fun making it. I hope you found it useful. You'll have any more questions, comments, and concerns, please let me know. I appreciate y'all reaching out, requesting different kind of videos, and I pray all of you, today it is Easter for me, so happy Easter to all of you. The King has been risen, and I pray that all of you enjoy this and have a great rest of Easter weekend. Thank you. Love you guys. Later.